Here are 5 ways that, in my opinion, would make Universal Studios Florida a much better park and, dare I say, fix it? My name is Brandon and welcome to Theme Park Predictions. And it's hard to believe that Universal Studios Florida opened up on June 7th, 1990, 33 years ago. Now, I'm not saying that USF is a bad park at all, because let's face it, it's not. There's so much to do at the park, and they have roller coasters, dark rides, shows, and other forms of entertainment that every age group has something to do and enjoy. However, with that being said, if you look at the past recent additions to the park over the last, let's say, 8 to 10 years, you kind of catch my drift. Besides Diagon Alley, what else has opened that has been a huge success for the park? Fast and Furious? I don't think so. Jimmy Fallon? I mean, come on now. And with Universal revamping the entire Kids Zone area of the park in the coming years, that's a great start. But I'm going to share with you 5 ideas that would instantly make Universal Studios Florida on the same tier as Islands of Adventure and the new Epic Universe. And the best part is that these are all pretty easy fixes. Because once the highly anticipated Epic Universe opens to the public, then Universal Studios Florida is going to look pretty sad at its current state, and it's clear Universal has a problem with USF. And the first thing that Universal Studios Florida needs to address is this giant piece of real estate in between the Men in Black and the Simpsons attraction. This area has been vacant for years, and obviously it's used for like storage and maintenance and stuff like that. But the good news is that once Epic Universe opens up, it's going to free up a lot of these areas around Universal and Islands of Adventure, because a lot of the maintenance facilities and the storage areas will now be located over at Epic. Now, as to what Universal could do with this area is anyone's guess. Would they opt for a new themed area for the park? I mean, that would be really cool, plus it would expand the footprint of this theme park, which is never a bad thing. And since I do not see Universal adding a new themed area without a major IP attached to it, it makes you wonder what type of IP Universal could use if they ever wanted to use this area for a brand new themed area. What I would personally love to see is a new Nintendo themed area for USF in this location. Universal is a very smart company, and I'm sure they want to capture that formula of success they had with Harry Potter with the Nintendo franchise. With that being said, I could definitely see Universal Studios opening a new Nintendo themed area eventually down the road, and I can see the same thing for Islands of Adventure. And I recently created a video about this where they would convert the Lost Continent into a brand new Zelda themed area featuring 2 new world-class roller coasters. So you don't want to miss that, and you can find the link for that in the description of this video. But back to this area here. As you can see, Universal could really build whatever they wanted to in this area. And these 2 structures here are called the Sprung Tents. And they're used for Halloween Horror Nights to house haunted houses inside of them. So these things could pretty much be easily be moved anywhere else on property. But what I would love to see Universal do is build a brand new building to house multiple haunted houses for Halloween Horror Nights. That way, the creative team has more room to work with, since it's not confined into a smaller tent structure. But I have no doubt in my mind that over the next 10 or so years that this area of the park will get developed into something, whether it's a brand new roller coaster or a themed area, something. And that's very, very exciting. And I'm working on a great video coming soon about a potential new roller coaster that would change USF forever. And you do not want to miss that. Trust me, this is one of my most detailed videos I've ever done before, and I cannot wait to share it with you guys. Next up on my plan of attack will be conquering the Fear Factor Stadium. It's been 4 or 5 years now, I believe, since the Fear Factor show left the park, which is not a bad thing at all. So currently, this outdoor stadium with the roof has just been sitting there dormant basically since Fear Factor left. And rumors have been swirling around that this will become a new Diagon Alley extension, whether it's a new ride for the Harry Potter franchise or a new attraction of some sorts, which honestly, due to its location, makes a ton of sense. So I could definitely see Universal wanting to capitalize on the Harry Potter franchise by bringing yet another attraction over to Diagon Alley, basically duplicating the success that Hagrid's had with Hogwarts. Now obviously this plot of land is a lot smaller than the old Dueling Dragons plot of land, but I'm sure Universal can get pretty creative as to what type of ride they can add here. Maybe it's an indoor fly-in theater or some type of indoor ride that would really immerse the guests into the whole Harry Potter experience like never seen before. Now continuing going counterclockwise around the park, it's time to talk about the Fast and Furious attraction. Because even though this attraction was added I believe in 2017 or 2018, feel free to correct me in the comments below, it's pretty clear that this attraction really didn't do what Universal intended it to do as far as numbers go and popularity. And after all, Fast and Furious is a major IP, it's a major franchise, and there's so many awesome things that Universal Creative could have done with this, but yet they give us this. It doesn't add up, doesn't make sense, and not only that, but Universal tore down the entire building that earthquake or disaster used to take up to build this. So not only did they spend money on building a brand new building, plus the ride inside of the building, they spent a lot of money really converting this entire area, as you can see here, to fit in with the rest of the park. And in my opinion, the Fast and Furious attraction has to go down as one of the biggest whys or question mark attractions ever built at a theme park, at least in Florida, because just why? Especially knowing what Universal Studios Hollywood is doing with their Fast and Furious attraction, a massive roller coaster that goes fast and it's furious. So I think Universal should gut this entire attraction and build a brand new multi-launch coaster that's indoors and outdoors, utilizing this giant building and the surrounding areas around it. This would give Universal Studios Florida its largest roller coaster to date and by far the most popular attraction in the history of the park. And to bring up the argument as to why Universal would do this after spending a lot of money on this attraction just 4 or 5 years ago, they're going to have to look at the ROI on if it makes sense to build a brand new attraction, because all the money spent on this is in the past. So it's forward progress. You never really worry about what you spent in the past. You want to focus on how you can improve going forward to make the biggest bang for your buck, which then results into better ROI. So again, I'm not worried that Universal spent a lot of money on this attraction just a short time ago. I think it makes a lot of sense for them to really invest heavily into the right attraction for the Fast and Furious franchise, and a multi-launch roller coaster that's indoors and outdoors would be a great step in the right direction. Now before I share with you my last 2 things on my list on how I would fix Universal Studios Florida, I just want to say I hope you're having a wonderful day, and remember to think positive, smile today, and keep riding coasters. This is one of my most popular shirts. The meaning of it's great. It's about positivity and conquering your dreams and getting through life at a happy pace. So if you want a shirt like this, be sure to check out my online merch store, and you can find the link for it in the description of this video. Now let's talk about an area that I don't see really anyone else talking about as far as expansion for Universal Studios Florida. And this area is behind the Hollywood Rip Ride Rockets turnaround. Now I do not remember what this building is for the park because it's been around 10 years since I worked at Universal. However, there's a giant parking lot right behind it. So if it's possible, I would love to see Universal relocate this building somewhere else on property and then utilize that area plus this parking lot for a new indoor attraction that the park could really benefit from. Adding new major rides is never a bad thing because it's going to help with capacity for the park, and you're going to tap into an area that has never seen an attraction before. So what I think would be cool, since this new potential attraction is located right next to the New York City facade, it would be really cool to see a ride based on New York City. Maybe it's a movie that's based in the city or different IP. Something like that would really tie into this area really nice and provide a new attraction for park guests. And lastly, let's head to the Universal Studios Lagoon. Because let's face it, USF has never really had that great of a nighttime show that lasted more than 5 or 6 years. And with the magic of the movies and Universal Studios creativity, I just feel like they've always kind of lacked on the nighttime show. But that will change now because they would really convert this lagoon into a massive nighttime show featuring drones, the water fountains, plus fireworks as well as lasers. There's a lot of cool things that Universal Studios could do with this central lagoon, and it's great because all the guests can line all around it. And as we see more and more parks debut drone shows, I just feel like that's a great fit, and Universal Studios Florida can offer something that no other park in Florida offers at the time, and that would be a new drone show. So I think that wraps up how easily it is to fix Universal Studios Florida and make it a world-class theme park that's on the same tier as Islands of Adventure and of course Epic Universe once it opens. What are your thoughts on my ideas? What do you like? What don't you like? And most importantly, please share with me your ideas on what you think Universal Studios needs to improve. With all that being said, thank you so much for watching. Remember to smile today, think positive, and keep riding coasters.